the gateway to the West is now the gateway to the best.
Swing and get up, baby! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Home
The game is over. The series is over. The wait is over.
What's happening, nerds? So tonight what I have for you, if you can probably tell from the title of this video anyway, is kind of like an unplanned, unexpected end to a trilogy, so to speak. And the reason why I say that is because, Stan Musial, Stan the man, I did two videos a good while back. One was his Bowman cards, and then the other one was his Topps cards. And oftentimes with Stan, it's lamented that there's, the missing years, the missing cards because of, the contracts and everything. He didn't have 50, 51 Bowman, which, as you'll see, like those just kind of don't get captured. But then you had the 52 to 58 Topps, in which he was also not in there. And the reason why I say 58, because, we all know his first Topps card was the All-Star card, but there was not a base design, flagship design Stan card of that year. And it's one of those things where there's just kind of a gap, right? But, it might have been like, 6 months ago or something like that. But I was in my LCS. I was going through the, the box of, the cheap cards and everything. And I found a couple Stan cards. I might have shown them on my channel at some point in time, but they were like the lost years. And I was like, hell, just pick them up, right? And then I looked further into it, and there's more. So in the end, what I ended up doing was I ended up picking all them up to kind of capture the lost years, right? And I'll show them, and I'll actually show how I fit them within my Stan Musial collection, right? But we all know the 51 Topps, and granted, all these images are very photographic. They're not the artistic renditions that we know for some of these sets. But Topps, what they did was, I forget the years of all these, but that doesn't really matter. Is in recent times they've they've made a lot of cards for retired players and rehashed old designs, right? And then at the same time, there's a lot of themes to them that they did. So here's a 51 that they made of Stan, but in our current times. But he did not have a 51 Topps card, and so that is kind of a way to have a 51 Topps Stan Musial within my collection. Here we have Stan in a 1952 design. Again, it's a photograph. It's not the artistic rendition. Here you can see the back, and it's really kind of neat. And unlike my last videos, I'm not going to read off the backs of the cards. If you so choose, you can read the backs of them by pausing this video. But I forget the theme of why this card was produced, but there was quite a bit. 1953 design right here, and you can see on the back the lost cards, where Topps acknowledges that there are cards that never existed due to whatever reason, right? And it talks a little bit about that on the back of this card. Also, how Stan was performing at that time. 1954, a set that everybody loves. That for me, it's the subject matter that that drives what I collect, and unfortunately, there's really nothing that I want to collect from that set. But here is another cards that never were theme to this. That last one was made in 2011. This one, 2021. It looks like. But that's how I have a 1954 Stan Musial. And yes, he has the red heart from that year, but he did not have a Topps card, and that's kind of the point, right? 1955. And again, the lost cards. 1956 designed. same, insert subset or whatever that was at the time. And then 1957 design. And this was the last of the Musial cards from the the lost cards insert set that they did at that time. So it's, yes, Stan does not have those cards, and no, these are not better than what those cards would have been. But the fact of the matter, it does not. They didn't get produced, right? And I think it's part of the baseball card story history. I've said it before, where I think Stan is the poster child for that whole bubblegum card wars, and that's why I have the Bowman cards. That's why I have the Topps cards, and I really haven't expanded beyond that for Stan, because they get kind of expensive and everything like that. But it's how far do you go with it and things, and I'm just not there as far as collecting beyond that, besides wanting the Leaf card. But this is kind of just a neat and very inexpensive way to kind of fill that gap in a sense. Not that it really fills it, but it was fun for me to collect these cards. Again, very cheap. I did not pay more than $1 for any of these cards. But with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly put them back where I had them and show you how they fit within my Stan collection. And I can kind of show you from beginning to end kind of thing, and show where that 58 Topps card kind of goes, because y'all know I binder the vast majority of my cards, and Stan is no different. So I got this this binder right here, but you see I got my Bowman cards right there. They're all in one touches. But then right here, so for the Topps cards, because that's where this the collection goes next, is I put all of those lost cards, those modern produced renditions of those designs, to kind of fill that gap in a sense. And you read the back of those cards, it speaks to why some of those cards were not produced, sign of the times kind of thing. So I thought they fit really well because of the scope of my Musial collection. And then you see you got the 50, and then it goes from 57 designed to the 59, and then the 60, and it just continues on through the rest of his run to 63. But you see, for that 58 card, it's an all-star card. And so on this page, it's the all-star highlights, league leaders, and things like that. That's what I put there. Here's another, before there was Topps card, it's just another insert set that they did. And that's a Distinguished Service Navy card, which might come up hopefully in the near future. But yeah, so I collect the Bowman and Topps flagship cards of Stan. He has the stamps and things like that. I have not gone there yet, but so I don't know. There's not really much else to say. It was just a little fun, thing that I did to kind of capture that period of Stan's career within this collection, and also within the constructs of Bowman Topps, right? So anyway, I hope you like the the third part of this trilogy, and thanks for nerding out with me.